Y'all, I put this bra on and now I want to die. Hello, how's it going? I hope you guys had a very happy new year. For this video, I'm going to be doing a December wrap-up. Wanted to do this earlier, but I just didn't. I read 11 books in December. I actually hit my Goodreads challenge. I read 100 books for the year. Actually read over 100 books, and I feel like I could have read more, but after I hit that 100, I kind of feel like I lost my drive to read, unfortunately, because I didn't have that thing to work towards anymore. But I feel like I'm very proud of myself. I've never read 100 books in a year ever, so yeah, with that being said, I'm just gonna get started. The first book that I read was Forever Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is a novella that happens after Forever Wild, and you have to read the first two to read this. I did a reading vlog. If you want to see that to get my full thoughts, I will link it down below. But I really love them. It's always nice catching up with characters again. I just wish this was longer. That's my only issue. Like, I'm not a huge fan of novellas, unfortunately. The next book that I read was Fake It Till You Break It by Megan Brandy. This follows Demi and Nico, and they go to school together, and Demi has a crush on this guy, and I'm not exactly sure, I can't remember how Nico finds out, but they go to this birthday party at a hotel resort, and they decide that they're gonna start fake dating. This was super fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a quick read. Nothing like extravagant happened that like you need to read this before you die, but I really liked their story and how everything went and how everything like progressed, except for their parents. Nico's dad, like we can obviously tell that he's an issue, but he's not really in this much. Like, we get dual point of view, so we do get him slightly, but it's kind of like this, like, they both have secrets. Like, her mom is a terrible human being, and his dad is a terrible human being, and how all of that progressed and happened and ended, and just like, I didn't like the way that their parents were handled, basically. It's like all wrapped up in the epilogue, and the epilogue is only 7 pages, and it's not even technically wrapped up. It's just like, this is what happened, so that you're not asking questions. And I thought that was a little disappointing, but everything else was wrapped up pretty good. Yeah, I really liked this. It was fun. I don't know, there's not much else to say about it. Their parents sucked, though. Like, were the worst. And that was one thing that I didn't really like, was their parents. Like, it did annoy me quite a bit. And like, Demi lying for her mom, that annoyed me, but what are you gonna do? The next thing that I read is Scrooged by V. Keeland and Penelope Ward. This is a novella? I don't know. It's a 100-page novella with 3 short stories in it. I wasn't exactly sure how to rate this because I liked some stories. I liked like two of the stories, and the middle one I wasn't a huge fan of. The first one is called Sexy Scrooge, and it follows two characters who share an Uber together. That was cute. We didn't really get to know them, but in what we did get to know them, it was nice. I don't know. The next one is The Merry Mistake, and that follows Piper and Mason, and for Christmas, Piper has decided to, instead of giving gifts to her family, she's going to do nice things in their names. So what she decides to do for like her sister or something is buy lunch for a homeless man and give him some money. Even though she's broke, she gives this dude like $50. You know, whatever you want to do. But he ends up not being homeless, and then she decides, he kind of rips her a new one, which I loved. And then she decides to help the older man in her apartment building. Come to find out that Mason is his son, and things happen. The next one is Christmas in New York, and Margot and her friend are waiting in a coffee shop for her soon-to-be ex-husband and his lawyer, and he's not showing up, so they decide to play a game of dare, and she has to kiss this guy named Chet, and it was cute. I mean, it was like, it gets you in the Christmas mood, you know, so why not read it? It was short, it was fun. Read it, don't read it, it's completely up to you. The next book that I read is Lead by Kylie Scott. This is the third book in the Stage Dive series. This follows Jimmy and Lena. Jimmy is the lead singer of Stage Dive, and he is a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, and he's gone through like a ton of people, like not exactly positive what they're called, but he just, basically they're like babysitters, but I think therapists, so that he doesn't relapse, and he just keeps scaring them away. Lena comes in and she starts to do the job, and she's actually doing a good job at it, and they fall in love, obviously. It was a good slow burn. I thought it was good. Another, like, not gonna change your life book, but like it deals with recovery and how that affects the people around you, and like you don't get his point of view, so you can't really say like how it affects him, but you get her point of view, and I liked that. I thought that was good. It was cute. I liked it. And it's always fun when you get like standalone series and you get the other couples that have already had their book and their relationship has already started, and what you still get to see what they're doing and stuff, so that's always fun. I always like that. The next book that I read is Fire Night by Penelope Douglas, and I loved this. This is a novella, and it has all of the male leads of the book's point of view, and I believe this happens on the winter solstice, so like December 21st. This happens after the end of Nightfall, but before the epilogue, I think she said. It's so good. I love Penelope. I also did a I did a reading vlog for that, so if you want to see that, I will also link that down below. Okay, the next book that I read is Deep by Kylie Scott, and this is the fourth and final book in the Stage Dive series, which follows Mal and Lizzie. Lizzie is Anne's little sister from Play, who she falls in love with the drummer. Now, I liked this. I'm not going to say that I didn't, because it wasn't bad. I had really high expectations for this because I feel like Ben was a very mysterious character. Like, we didn't get a lot of him in any of the books until, well, the first two, and then the third we get him a little more because he's better friends with Jimmy and they go running and stuff together. So, like, I thought, like, it was gonna be fun because we were gonna get to know him a little bit better and he wasn't gonna be as mysterious, and like, him being so mysterious kind of made me excited for this, and maybe that was why I had such high expectations and I shouldn't have. But I was a little bored because it's like we start off with like we're in the present and then we go back to, I didn't explain this at all. Okay, so this follows Ben and Lizzie. I think I said that, but they basically, Lizzie has a crush on Ben and Mal is like, dude, don't touch her, and he's trying to follow through with that promise that Mal had no right to say, to tell him to do, but they go to Vegas and they sleep together and Lizzie ends up pregnant, and then that's where we start off, is like Lizzie's like, oh shit, I'm pregnant, and then there's a dinner party and Ben brings this chick and she's like, you're probably pregnant, and everyone freaks out. Ben and Mal get into a fight, which was completely ridiculous, and I was just like bored because we start off there and I was like, hell yeah, like this is good. And then we jump back to how their relationship starts from book 2, and it's like 100 or so pages of them and their start, which like isn't terrible, but I didn't care for it. I would have much rather, like, I don't know, because then I probably would have been like, I want to know how this happened. So I didn't hate it, but I guess I feel like some of it was unnecessary. Like, I wish it would have been more fast-paced. Maybe. I don't know. The biggest issue that I had with this, though, was Mal and Anne. Like, I feel like they were saying things and doing things that they had no right to say or do, because it's really none of their business what Lizzie and Ben do in their free time. And it was just ridiculous. Like, Mal in the beginning of the book punches Ben because they find out that he's the dad, like they slept together and he got her pregnant. And then later in the book, Mal ends up punching Ben because he was mad he betrayed his trust. When he, this is in my review, when he never had the right to keep them apart to begin with. So Anne was also super annoying. Like, she was just like, I'm so disappointed in you. Like, you're going to school, you're gonna be a doctor and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, shut up. Like, why are you acting like your sister can't be pregnant and also go to school? Or take a year off and go back? Like, this dude is made of money. He has so much money. You have so much money. It's not like she's not gonna be okay. Stop being a dramatic bitch and let the girl live her life. She seriously pissed me off until like the very end of the book, Mal and Anne. And it was so upsetting because I really liked their book. I really liked Mal and Anne, and it just, it was annoying and misogynistic. So I just want to say really quick what I mean by misogynistic is that they are looking, it felt to me like Mal and Anne were looking down at Lizzie, like she couldn't make her own choices about not only her own life but her relationship with Ben and now the pregnancy, and it was just super annoying. And that's all. And just like so many other things, and none of their fucking business. And that's it. That's all that I have to say about that book. The next book that I read is Faking Under the Mistletoe by Ashley Shepherd, and this follows Olivia and Asher. Asher is Olivia's boss, and she works as an intern at his company, which I can't remember what it is, but she is all about Christmas, loves it. She's in charge of the Christmas festivities at the company, and she like sets up Christmas pajama day and we're gonna watch a movie on the roof and all this stuff, and he's just kind of a Scrooge. So she buys him a Christmas tree for his apartment and all this stuff. It's super fun. But anyway, they go to the Christmas tree lighting, which is part of what she has planned, and there we meet Asher's ex-girlfriend, who is a Rockette. I don't know if she's actually a Rockette, but she like dances, and he seems to be super still in love with her, and Olivia decides to fake be his girlfriend without letting him know, and they start this relationship to make his ex-girlfriend jealous, and it obviously turns into something. But this did, just FYI, kind of take, to me, an unexpected turn. I didn't really obviously expect it. A huge plot, storyline, I don't know, about sexual harassment and assault in the workplace. That's where they work for like PR for like famous people, and Olivia lives with a model, and there's this dude, Levi, who I don't know if he's an actor or what, but she likes him, thinks he's cute, he thinks she's cute, and like nothing really ever happens with them. But then the pajama day, she's wearing like shorts, and she like stays overnight with Asher to help him do something, and Levi ends up like touching her like top of her thigh, bottom of her butt, and she doesn't really say anything, but I think Asher does. I can't remember what happens in that scenario, but fast forward, she goes to a club with her model roommate, and Levi's there, and they're in like this VIP, and Levi starts to make out with her, and she's like, hey dude, chill, and he's like, nah. And her model friends come back and like save her, thank God. We love a good model friend. And so that's part, I really liked that actually. I thought that was handled really well. Like at first you think people are villains when they're not villains, but I thought that was done really well, and yeah, this was really good. It made me laugh, which doesn't really happen. I'm not really a laugher at books. I'm usually like somebody who acknowledges it and just moves on. I don't know why, but yeah, I really loved this. I love a fake dating trope. It made me laugh. Like the funniest part was when she said wake me up in 2020. Like honey, probably like 2021. Like not even, like, we're still in shit. So 2022 possibly, maybe 2023, I don't know. But this was good, this was fun. I also said that I would love a book about Asher and Olivia quarantining together, and yeah, like, go me for thinking of that. I would love that. I also would have liked this to be dual point of view, which it never is. They're never a dual point of view. The next book that I read is The Villain by L.J. Shen. I also filmed a reading vlog for this. If you want to watch that and get my full thoughts, you can do that. I will link it down below. But I really enjoy that as well. The next book that I read is Watch Over Me by Mila Gray. This is the fourth in a series of standalones. The first two book couples are in this, but the third book couple isn't, I don't think. I'm pretty positive they're not in it. I don't know why. I don't know why she wrote it like that. I don't know if she's, like, what she's doing with the series and, like, how she's doing it, because, like, the first two couples are friends. This guy is friends with the first book couple, and the third book couple, I can't remember any of their names. I read them a while ago, so excuse me. But the third book couple is kind of just like a book. I don't think, like, you don't have to read any of these to read the others, but the third one, you definitely don't have to read any of them. Anyway, this follows Tristan and Zoe. The book starts out with Zoe's car blowing up, and her instant thought is that it might be her dad, even though he's in jail for abusing their mom. She kind of is the mother figure in the house. Her mom works, but she does everything else, Zoe does. And when her car blows up, the house sets on fire, and she calls her brother Will. God, I hope that's his name. He's not really mentioned. Yeah, Will. She calls her brother Will and Tristan, who is Will's best friend, drive to Vegas, Nevada, to California, so that they can stay in an apartment across from Tristan's and he can watch over them while Will, who is in the military, goes overseas. Tristan is also in the Coast Guard, so he has, like, a more, I guess, stable job than Will does, especially since they live in California. I really liked this. It basically is him, like, watching over the family and them having a relationship. My favorite line, I usually don't do this, I'm not somebody who is like, wow, you really loved that line, is from Dee Dee, the second book. She tells Zoe that you don't have to believe in fairy tales, but you don't have to only believe in horror stories. And I really liked that. This author, Mila Gray, she always, like, straight up pulls you in. Like, usually it takes me about 50 pages to get into a book, but she's so fast. Like, she's just like, here it is, here's the drama, and I love it. This was a little anxiety-inducing at times because of her dad, but I don't think it ever really took away from the story. And I think, like, I think it's good that if, like, you can write a story and you can make the reader feel what the person that you're reading about is going through, I think that's great. The ending was a little bit unrealistic to me, but before the ending, everything that was happening with the police was, like, straight on, because cops friggin', like, unfortunately, if nothing is being done to you, the cops can't do anything because the person isn't a threat. and I think that's a shitty law, but but the ending was a little like unrealistic, but this is fun. It's like a fast, easy, cheesy read, and I liked it. Read it, don't read it, up to you. I did like the first one and the third one the most, though. I'm not really sure which one I liked more, but I think the third one. But this is like a good series, like it's not a bad series. The next book that I read is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I read this for Christmas, and I was like, this will be fast. I'll read this super fast. It took me 5 days. Oh no, it took me 6 days. It took me almost a week to read a 120-page book. Not even, because there's pictures in it. There's illustrations. I read this like because I want to read more classics, and what's more classic than this? Nothing. What's more Christmassy than this? Nothing. I went into it not blind, but I didn't know like completely everything about it. Like I knew that 3 ghosts were visiting him and he was a jerk. That's it. It was extremely over descriptive at times. The paragraphs were super long. I didn't get it. I mean, I got like the moral and like, hey, don't be a jerk. Like, you should always be nice to people no matter what the time of year. But it just, there was a lot. And there were some parts where I was like interested in what was happening, like the past ghost. I really liked that. Like him seeing what he used to be like, and like I guess how he got to being how he is. I just didn't like it. I don't know what else to say about it. They're just like, I feel like it could, like, weirdly could have been shorter than it was. The last book that I read of the year is New Year's Kiss by Lee Matthews. This follows Tess and Christopher. Tess's parents are getting divorced, so for the day after Christmas, for New Year's, they decide to send her and her sister to their grandmother Loretta's ski resort. And while she's there, she meets Christopher, who has broken his leg on the slopes skiing, and he's sitting on a couch chilling, and they become friends. And she decides that she wants to start a New Year's resolution list, like a get out of my shell list. But she wants to do it before the end of the year, so she has 5 days to finish these 10 things with Christopher's help. And it was cute. I liked it. It was a cute New Year's read. Like, that's like a big reason why I read it, because I felt like it would be cute to read for like the end of the year. It's my last book. Why not, you know? Some things were a little dramatic, which, like, doesn't sound really good, but, like, it felt like at times the author didn't know how to write teenagers and how they would react or respond or talk to someone. And then at other times it felt as if he was really good at writing teenagers and how they would react and respond and speak to other characters. So it was kind of a mixed bag, to be completely honest. Something happens, like, it is obviously, like, it's an obvious secret mystery twist, whatever you want to call it, because Christopher did break his leg on the slopes, and he says that someone pushed him off, and we don't know who it is, but we get like a vibe when Christopher and Tess are together and Loretta is around, or his parents are around, because they're kind of like giving each other weird looks, and there's just like a vibe, you know? That something is going on behind the scenes that Tess doesn't know between Loretta, Christopher, and Christopher's parents. And I thought it was one person, but it was another person, but it wasn't very hard to figure out after a minute because of things that I don't want to say. But this was good. It was fun. Like, cute read. The only thing that, like, annoyed me really about Tess was that her reaction to what happened, like what was going on between Christopher and Loretta and Christopher's parents. Like, she really felt childish, and that was another way that I felt like the author didn't know how to write a teenager. Like, also her sister and her insults were just terrible sometimes. Like, sometimes I was like, oh shit, like, she's mean. And then other times I was like, that's not a good insult to someone. Like, why are you saying that? But that's it. That's what I read in December. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read these, please let me know. We can talk about them. I will link all of the reading vlogs, as I said, and I will also link all of my social medias if you want to follow those. That would be super cool. But yeah, that's it. I hope 2021 is good to you. I hope it's good to everybody, because 2020 was not fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye.